So, what's the plan? Okay, as I've said since day one, family comes first. Now, just look at the proud smile there on the little guy's face. How can I deny doing something for him as first priority? Well, let me tell you a secret. His birthday's coming up, and he has found this panel of fabric that you see him broadcasting there. Hang on a second. Seems like there's a little bit of negativity going on in the background. Let's just fix that. Don't you worry, husband. I am cleaning this up as quickly as I can so that you can have your living room back. If anyone's been following, it took me 5 days. That's less than a week. I think I did great getting the living room back together. And now the only challenge I've got left is the hallway. So I have crammed as much of the first wave of fabric into the bedroom in the working space that I've arranged, and now the next few days I am foreseeing just working on the hallway, boxes, and a lot of it is not fabric. There's a lot of notions in here, sewing needles, pins, stuff I have to be careful. I just can't reach into this box. And there's a few patterns, which is interesting, but my first objective here is to work on the birthday present that I have in mind with this fabric for my son. And he will be turning 7. Oh my gosh, time just flies. At the end of day 6, this is kind of where my energy started really kind of waning. And I had bagged up a lot of fabric that was in this stash, and I've sorted through some of the boxes, and there were some containers already pre-existing with this material. And what I did was I went through that pretty well. There was a lot of bias tape, there were zippers, there was trim, there was lace, and all that I sorted into its own bags. And I had some 2-gallon zip bags. Got those kind of organized for some of the smaller pieces. And I was pretty proud of myself, but I was exhausted. I was still tired from just trying to get the living room done. Day 6 is actually a few days after day 5, but it's the 6th day that I am working on this endeavor. So let's just keep it simple, y'all. And the bolts of fabric were there at the very back end of the hall, well, the front of the house near the living room. And those I went ahead and put on my rolling rack. So that was easy. Those were very large pieces of fabric. Some of it was almost, well, gosh, I don't know, several yards. So those were easy to refold and put into the rack. And so you could tell in this picture I've gotten rid of the milk crates. They would be in the background of this shot. And it is getting a little overwhelming because I'm kind of stretching for space. What I had to do was start putting things onto my dresser. I am actually kind of anticipating what the opinion is going to be when I do get all the stuff out of the hallway and everything is in the master bedroom. I don't know. I can't get more into the office area. I measured it the other day, and it looks like my working space in my office is now like 16 square feet, and everything else is storage and this large rolling shelf unit that I have. But you just kind of keep trying, don't you? This is where I'm leaving the master bedroom so far at the end of day 6. You can see all the storage containers. Those are the pre-existing in the inventory. And there's a hamper basket, and crazy, everything was color coordinated. So I got like this gray, country blue, and light blue theme going on. And then the big pop of yellow, that's a sewing box there on the dresser. Here you can see where I've rearranged a few boxes and stacked so many notions onto my dresser that it is obscuring the mirror, and I don't like that. But kind of trying to think, I don't just get the sudden idea all at once. I kind of gotta put a layer down, take a step back and evaluate. And then sometimes I even take a few days off just to see how I'm bumping into it. If something is not structurally stable, like is it wobbly here? Do I need to move this? And, there's many things that kind of go into the sort. Like I want the higher priority things up at the top layer. So they're easy to grab, they're in line of sight. It's not, because I have a bad habit of, if it is out of my sight, I am not thinking about it and trying to use that as an advantage. Things that I want to be completed or in a higher priority, I make sure to put in my line of sight. So, case in point, here in this picture you're seeing the corner workstation. I've got a stool there, the sewing machine is plugged in. I have been using the sewing machine in this format. And right behind me there are the boxes. Some of it there are some scrap fabrics that got thrown in a box. I didn't bag that, I just left it as it was and stacked it. And up at the top there's a white basket. Inside that white basket and draped over the top of the handle are the things that I'm working on first. So that's the first priority basket. It's not official. I'm probably going to change that. But for what I'm having to do, I am, when I wake up in the morning, that is my side of the bed you're seeing. When I wake up in the morning, it is the sewing stash that greets me. I have no curtains. I have curtain rods, but there are curtains actually in the making. That was actually a work in process before all this happened. Also, if you look underneath the leather sewing machine bench, I have crammed a lot of those Ziploc bags, those 2-gallon large storage bags, up underneath there as best I could, and I've got a lot more about to get nestled in there. And that's things like ribbon and thread, and small things like snap buttons, stuff that's has been easily categorized. So I'm still working on that as a storage area. One thing that I kind of got a pet peeve about is old cardboard. I don't like the look of a cardboard box after having been saturated in cardboard for a very long time period in my life. I'm over cardboard. And right there at the floor at the base of my stack is one of the old cardboard boxes that came with this stash. Gotta get that out of here. And I have to think about, alright, once I get done with this birthday present project and some mending projects that have been on hold for a little while, what's going to be the next project? Because I really want to try to do some quilting. Some real basic, maybe like a little 9-patch thing. And, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. But it's also quite exciting. You know, like what is around the next bend, what's beyond the horizon. It's an adventure. And I'm very pleased. Thank you guys so much for coming with me on this and watching. And feel free to leave a comment below. As you're seeing me working on my sewing machine, you could probably think of like 10 things I'm doing wrong. And, you know, give me some constructive criticism. I welcome that. Thanks, guys.